4. Emergency.
Unit 4, Period 1, Activity 1.
Cost. Deal with. Emergency. Exhausted. Faulty. Fire engine. Fire station. Flame. Flexible. Paramedic. Partner. Service. Smoke. Word formation. Fire and fighter, firefighter. Protect. Protection.
2. Look at the pictures below and on the next page. Do the tasks. 1. What kind of job do you think the people do? They're firefighters. 2. Say what kind of work they seem to be doing in pictures A and B on the next page. They aren't fighting fires. Perhaps the man is training and the woman is telling children about their job. 3. Listen and answer the questions.
Period 1, Activity 3.
Dan Fellini, Ontario Fire Service.
Many people think firefighters just relax between emergencies. But it isn't like that. We have a full schedule from the minute we start work at 8 a.m. First, we check the fire engines and all our equipment. We must be sure that everything is in working condition. Faulty equipment costs lives. Our own working condition is just as important. We train to keep fit, of course, but we also learn new skills all the time. Things like first aid, fire protection systems, and IT. Then there's the training we do together. We train to become an efficient, flexible team that can do the job and keep each other safe in different, often dangerous situations. We have to be ready for anything. Then, of course, anything happens. We stop all our practicing and preparing and race to deal with the real thing, the next emergency call.
Carol Roper, London Fire Service.
We do many different things in this amazing job. Here's just one 12-hour day. 1:30 p.m. The police call us to a road accident. There's no fire, but a driver is caught inside her car. We free her with our special cutting equipment. Then the paramedics take over. 3:30 p.m. There's training back at the fire station. Today, it's how to deal with dangerous chemicals. Even the older officers are there. In this job, training never ends. 7 p.m. We're giving a talk to the local scouts. Part of our job is to teach people about fire safety, to stop future fires from happening. 10:30 p.m. We go to a house fire. The firefighters already there need help. My partner and I put on our safety equipment and move into the thick black smoke to attack the flames. 12 a.m. Finally, we win. We're dirty and exhausted, but very, very pleased.
1. Check your answers to Activity 2.2. 2. What types of things do firefighters do back at the fire station? They check the fire engines and their equipment. They do exercise and they do training, first aid, fire protection. 3. What example of these does Carol give during her day? Training. 4. Read and do the tasks. 1. Work out the time of day. 1. Say what time of day it is in picture A. Explain. 9 a.m. 2. Say what time it is in picture B. Explain. 7 p.m. 2. Write Dan Fellini's work schedule. Start work. 8:15. Check fire engine. 9 o'clock. Check their equipment. 9:45. Do exercise. 10:30. Learn new skills. 12 o'clock. Train. 1 o'clock. Have lunch. Now work in pairs. Ask and answer questions about Dan's work schedule. Student A. When does Dan start work? Student B. He starts at. Does he check the fire? Student A. Yes, he does that at. What time? 5. Work in pairs. Read out the firefighters' stories. Real-life jobs, firefighter. Dan Fellini. Ontario Fire Service. Many people think freighters just rotic between emergencies. But it isn't like that. We have a full schedule from the minute we start work at 8 a.m. First, we check the fire engines and all our equipment. We must be sure that everything is in working condition. Faulty equipment costs lives. Our own working conditions are just as important. We train to coop feet, of course, but we also learn new skills all the time, things like first aid, fire protection systems and IT. Then there's the training we do together. We train to become an efficient, flexible team that can do the job and keep each other safe in different, often dangerous situations. We have to be ready for anything. Then, of course, anything happens. We stop all our practicing and preparing and race to deal with the real thing, the next emergency call. Carol Roper. London Fire Service. We do many different things in this amazing job. Here's just one 2-hour day. 1:30 p.m. The police call us to a road accident. There's no, but a driver is caught inside her car woe true whore with as our special cutting equipment. Then the paramedics take over. 3:30 p.m. There's training back at the Tink station. Today it's how to deal with dangerous chemicals. Even the older omicors are these. In this job, training never ends. We're giving a talk the 7 p.m. Local scouts. Part of our job is to teach people about fire safety to stop future fixes fors from happening. 10:30 p.m. We go to a house tire. The firefighters already the row nude hope. My partner and I put on our safety equipment and move into the thick, black smoke to attack the names. 12 a.m. Finally, we win. We're dirty and exhausted, but very, very pleased. Unit 4 Period 2. 1. Add the new words from Period 1. Make any changes needed. 1. A. Do firefighters and __ paramedics ever work together? B. Yes, they work closely as partners when people need medical help. 2. A. All the equipment that firefighters use costs thousands of dollars. B. Well, they need it to do their job and to give them protection. 3. A. How bad is the fire? I can only see some black smoke. B. It's growing. Look, that wood is burning now. Look at those flames. 4. A. I expect it's hard work in the fire service from the fire. Especially when you go out to a big fire. B. Yes, by the end, we're always dirty and exhausted, but happy that we've done a good job. Now work in pairs. Check your work and then precise. 2. Read. Complete with other new words from Period 1. Make any changes needed. Dan Fellini says that firefighters work hard all the time and not just during emergencies. In the morning, at the fire station, they always check the fire engine and everything else because faulty equipment can kill. They train together, too, to learn to work as a team that is flexible and efficient. Then, when the call comes, they leave everything and rush to deal with the next fire. 3. Read the passage again and do the tasks. Say what the underlined words refer to. 1. Lines 12 to 13. Our own working condition is just as important as the equipment. 2. Lines 39 to 40. Even the older officers are there. At the fire station. 3. Lines 40 to 41. In this job, training never ends. Being a firefighter. Now say what the underlined phrases mean. 1. Lines 5 to 6, but it isn't like that. The situation isn't what people think it is. 2. Lines 11 to 12. Faulty equipment costs lives. Can cause deaths. 3. Lines 22 to 23. We stop all our precising and preparing the preparations and training. 4 lines 35 to 36. Then the paramedics take over. Take control. 5 line 51. Finally, we win. We put the fire out. For work in pairs. Think and discuss. If you decided to join the emergency services, would you be a firefighter? I'm not sure. Perhaps I'd become a paramedic, because 1. Read the examples. Unit 4 Period 3. 1. We have a full schedule. 2. We move into the thick, black smoke. 3. We are dirty. 4. We are dirty and exhausted. 5. We do many things in this amazing job. 6. We are exhausted but very, very pleased. To write the sentences. Put the words in the correct order. 1. A. You seem very happy. B. That's because I've had some good news. 2. A. I don't feel well today. B. Then you'd better have a quiet day in bed. 3. A. During the night, we had some heavy snow. B. Yes, and it's very cold today too. 4. A. We've been traveling for a long time. B. Yes, it isn't far from here. Now work in pairs. Check your work and then practice. 3 forming participle adjectives from these verbs to complete the sentences. Amaze. Bore. Excite. 1. I don't know who's going to win this race. It's very exciting. 2. This is an amazing piece of equipment. It saved many lives. 3. Yesterday was very boring. I didn't have anything to do all day. 4. Form participle adjectives from these verbs to complete the sentences. Embarrass. Scare. Worry. 1. I'm worried about Mona. She seems very unhappy. 2. I'm scared to open the letter. I'm afraid it's going to be bad news. 3. I always feel embarrassed when I have to speak in front of everyone.
Period 4. Activity 1.
Alive. Ambulance. Cheer. Desperate. Desperately. Examine. Floor. Ladder. Lean. Ledge. Nowhere. Rush. Shootout. Smash. Word formation. Explode. Explosion. Fire. On fire. Hurt. Unhurt. Low. Lower. Thank. Thanks to.
2. Look at the picture in the passage and do the tasks. 1. Describe what you can see. Some firefighters are fighting a fire. A woman has climbed out of a window. 2. Read the newspaper headline and the line above it. Explain the new information that they give. We know when and where it happened. We know the woman is a nurse and the fire was on the 10th floor of a building. 3. Read and do the tasks. 1. Read paragraph 1 to check your answers to activity 2. 2. Read the rest of the report and answer these questions. 1. Who called the rescue services? A neighbor called the rescue services. 2. Which services came? Fire service, police service, and ambulance service. 3. How was she rescued? She jumped and one of the firefighters caught her. 4. Read and answer the questions. 1. Why did Helen climb out of the window? It was the only way to get out of the flat. 2. What did the firefighters try to do first? They tried to use the ladder to get to the flat. 3. What did they then do instead? They went up the stairs to the 10th floor and tried to rescue Helen from the dow of empty flat next to hers. 4. What stopped her from jumping at first? She was too frightened to jump. 5. What finally made her jump? There was an explosion. 5. Read and complete the fire officer's notes. Officer's notes. Fire victim's name, Helen West. Age, 19. Job, nurse. Type of home, apartment. Floor number, 10. Place where the fire began, the kitchen. Cause, known. Time when the fire was discovered, 11 p.m. Actions by the victim, 1. She closed the kitchen door. 2. She got out of the window onto the window ledge. Fire service arrived at 11:10. Other rescue services there. 1. Police. 2. Ambulance. The problem with the rescue, the ladder was too short. The girl was afraid to jump. Officers who rescued the victim. 1. Dave Yates. 2. Ken Winterton. Rescue route, down the ladder. Any injuries? No. Now work in pairs. Ask and answer questions about your notes. Student A. Take the part of the newspaper reporter. Ask the fire officer. What was the fire victim's name? Student B. Take the part of the fire officer. Use your notes to answer. Her name was. Young nurse is saved from 10th floor fire. Young nurse Helen West, 19, had a lucky escape last night when her 10th floor apartment caught fire and 2 brave fire officers saved her life. At 11 p.m., she suddenly smelt fire from the direction of the kitchen. When she opened the 10 door, everything was on fire. She closed the door quickly, but thick, black smoke started coming under it. The outside door was in the kitchen, so Helen 15 desperately needed another way out. There was only the bedroom window and outside that there was just a narrow ledge, 15 centimeters wide and 30 meters 20 up. I was really scared, but there was nowhere else to go, Helen said later. Smoke was coming into the bedroom fast. Nurse Helen West heroically rescued yesterday. However, the ladder was 10 meters short. There was only one thing to do. Officers Dave Yates 35 and Ken Winterton rushed up to the 10th floor, smashed the door of the empty flat next to Helen's and raced to the window. Dave leaned out and Ken held him. And reached for Helen. Dave shouted, "Jump!" She climbed out and lowered 25 her feet to the ledge. And then I shouted for help. Luckily, 40 heard her neighbors. Some and immediately called the fire service. A fire engine arrived 30 minutes later and then, 2, the police and an ambulance. I tried, she said later, but I couldn't. I was so scared. Far below, firefighters, police, 45 paramedics neighbors. And watched and waited. An explosion suddenly smashed Helen's window and flames shot out. Finally, she 50 jumped and Dave caught her arms. He almost fell, but Ken managed to hold him. Slowly. They pulled Helen to safety. When Dave and Ken brought cheered 55 her down. Everyone wildly. The paramedics examined her, but she was unhurt. Later, she said, "I'm lucky to be alive and it's all thanks to Dave and Ken." 1. Replace with new words from period 4. Make any changes needed. 1. After the accident, we examined the boat for damage. 2. Thanks to everyone's hard work, our team won first prize. 3. The flames shot out of our house very quickly. 4. Help! The house is on fire. 5. Let's lower the big cupboard from the window. 6. The climbers found a ledge that was wide enough to sleep on. 7. I'm bored. I've got nothing to do and nowhere to go. 2. Add other new words from period 4. Make any changes needed. 1. A. I've heard that Helen lived on the top floor of the building. B. That's right. and the firefighter's ladder wasn't big enough to reach it. 2. A. That ambulance is going very fast. B. I expect the paramedics are desperate to get to an emergency fast. 3. A. Be careful with that ladder, Will. It's leaning towards the window. B. Yes, Will. If you aren't careful, you'll smash the glass. 4. A. Everyone is cheering. Does that mean they've found the boy alive? B. Yes, they've rescued the boy and is completely unhurt. 5. A. Was anyone hurt in the explosion at the factory? B. No, thank God. But people were very scared and rushed to get out. Now work in pairs. Check your work and then practice. 3. Read the passage again and do the tasks. Say what the underlined word and phrase refer to. 1. Lines 16 to 17. There was only the bedroom window. There was no other way out. 2. Lines 30 to 31. And then, 2. The police and an ambulance. After the fire engine arrived. Say what the underlined words and phrases mean. 1. Lines 19 to 20, and 30 meters up. Above the ground. 2. Lines 20 to 21. There was nowhere else to go. There wasn't another suitable place. 3. Lines 33 to 34. There was only one thing to do. They didn't have any choices. Only one thing was possible. For work in pairs. Think and discuss. 1. Say when you think Helen probably felt the most scared. A. When she first climbed out of the window. B. When she realized that the ladder was 10 meters short. C. When Dave called for her to jump and she couldn't. D. When there was an explosion and flames shot out. E. When Dave almost fell with her. 2. Talk about things that you are scared of. I'm not afraid of being up high, but I'm really scared of snakes. Oh, I don't mind snakes so much, but I really don't like the dark. Now complete each sentence with either the ing or the ed adjective from the table. 1. I'm bored with this program. Let's change channels. 2. Let's try the film on channel 4. That'll be more interesting. 3. There's more bad news about earthquakes again. It's very depressing. 4. We're going on holiday tomorrow and I'm very excited. 5. 6 cars crashed, so we were amazed that there were no injuries. 6. We had to carry heavy rocks all day. It was exhausting work. Three. Complete the dialogues with pairs of opposites. Make any changes needed. Alive. Wide. Raise. Empty. Teach. Arrive. Enough. Leave. Full. Dead. Learn. Narrow. Lower. 1. A. This road is too narrow for our fire engine. B. We'll have to go back and find one that's _wide. 2. A. What time does our plane leave London? B. At 9 a.m. and it arrives in Paris 45 minutes later. 3. A. I need some oil, but this bottle is empty. B. Right, well, there's a full one in the cupboard, so use that. We'd better throw it away. 4. A. I think this plant is dead. B. But look, it's beginning to produce some flowers. It's alive. 5. A. People weren't buying our cakes, so we lowered the price. B. Yes, but our biscuits were too cheap, so we raised their price. 6. A. I've just learned how to make a chocolate cake. B. Great. I'd like to be able to do that, too, so can you teach me, please? 1. Read the examples. 1. Paramedics and neighbors watched silently. 2. She shut the door quickly. 3. Helen desperately needed another way out. 4. Luckily, some neighbors heard her. 5. I was really scared. 6. Smoke was coming into the bedroom fast. 3. Add pairs of adjectives and adverbs from Activity 2. 1. A. Hisham looks very fit and healthy these days. B. Yes, it's partly because he eats healthily now. He used to live on junk food. 2. A. What time does the early bus leave tomorrow morning? B. At 6 o'clock, so we'll have to leave the house very early. 3. A. Maida sings that song so beautifully, doesn't she? B. Yes, it's a beautiful song and she sings it better than anyone else. 4. A. Be very gentle when you hold your new baby brother. B. I'll hold him very gently, I promise. 5. A. The weather was bad, but we got home safely. B. Good, because it's much worse now and it isn't safe to go out. Now work in pairs. Check your work and then practice. 1. Put the words in order to form sentences. Think about positions of adjectives and adverbs. 1. Helen had a lucky escape. 2. I am lucky to be alive. 3. Everyone cheered wildly. 4. She suddenly smelt fire. 5. Slowly, they pulled Helen to safety. Now check your work. Find the sentences in the passage on page 51.
Period 9. Activity 1.
Excuse me, Mrs. Ben, but I believe you saw the accident, didn't you?
Yes, and I know the boy, so of course I stayed and helped.
So, where were you when it happened?
I was on the corner of Park Street and City Road.
Right. And what time did the accident happen?
At about 7:05.
7:05. And so it was nearly dark.
Yes, it was almost dark by that time.
And what's the boy's name?
It's Peter Bryce.
Peter B-R-I-C-E?
Yes, that's it. Bryce. Poor boy.
What happened?
He came out of London Road on his blue bike and turned left into Park Street.
I see. Park Street. Were his lights on?
I think so. Yes, they were definitely on.
And then what happened?
Well, there was a large red van at the side of the road. That one over there. So Peter moved out to pass it. The accident happened then.
What hit him?
A car. It suddenly shot out of Bank Road into Park Street.
I see. Bank Road into Park Street.
Then it hit Peter and drove away at top speed along East Street and then up Wood Road. It was blue.
Blue? Right. And the boy, was he badly hurt?
Yes, he had a broken arm.
A broken arm. How soon did medical help arrive?
The paramedics came at 7:10. They were very quick.
7:10. Good.
Yes, then they gave Peter first aid, and after that they took him away to hospital.
I see. Okay. Now, did you see the driver clearly?
I'm sorry, no, I didn't. It all happened so quickly.
What about the car? Can you tell me about the car?
Well, it was blue, as I said. And I think it was a Honda.
A Honda. Good.
And I can tell you the number. It was TD14PJ. TDBP.
TD14PBP. Excellent. Thank you, Mrs. Ben. Thanks to you, we're going to catch that driver, and he or she is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Period 9. Activity 2. Tasks 1 and 2. 1. Mrs. Paula Ben. 2. Peter Bryce. Period 9. Activity 2. Task 3.
1. Poor boy. 2. About 7:05. 3. Bank Road into Park Street. 4. At top speed on his blue bike.
Three. Work in pairs. Ask and answer questions about another accident. 1. Prepare your roles. Student A. A van hits an old woman. Imagine the accident and draw it on map A. Student B. You are the police officer. Prepare questions to ask. 2. Interview each other. As the police officer, draw what you hear on map B. 3. At the end, compare maps. They should be the same. 1. Work in pairs. Do the tasks to develop a story. 1. Number the pictures in order 1 to 6. 2, 6, 3, 4, 1, 5. They took an exciting cable car ride up to Dea Coruntal. Tom quietly climbed over. 2. Make simple statements 1 to 6 from the picture captions. Use the past simple. 3. Add AF to the correct statements 1 to 6. Use the past simple. A. When the Bell family, B. On holiday in Jericho. B. When they, B. At the top an hour after that. C. But then the rock under him suddenly, collapse, and D. When Tim's dad, find, and rescue, him. E. Help, arrive, 30 minutes later and F. When Tom, B. Ready to leave hospital next day. 4. Write the heading and then the story. Write a paragraph that starts like this. When the Bell family were on holiday in Jericho, they took an emergency in Jericho. 1. They take an exciting cable car ride up to Dea Coruntal. 2. Tom quietly climb over the safety fence. 3. He fall to a ledge below and hurt himself quite badly. 4. The cable car workers give him first aid and call the ambulance. 5. The paramedics put him in an ambulance and take him to the hospital. 6. The doctor say, I don't think you're going to do any more climbing for a few weeks. 2. Work in pairs. Do the tasks. Unit task, telling a true story. 1. Think of an accident that happened to you, a friend, or someone in your family. Choose a simple story that you can tell in about 6 sentences. 2. Make notes of key vocabulary. 3. Tell your story to your partner. Try to use time expressions like 30 minutes later. Also try to include this structure, when plus past simple, plus past simple. For when you listen to your partner's story, ask questions if something is not clear. 3. Write your story in about 6 sentences. Around the world in 80 days. The route to Singapore. In Bombay, Detective Fix still did not have the correct papers to arrest Fogg, but he knew that Passepartout could go to prison for his mistake at the temple. He paid the priests there some money to go with him to Calcutta and tell the police about Passepartout. So, when Fogg, Passepartout and Aruda got off the train in Calcutta, a police officer stopped the mess and asked them to follow him. 20 minutes later, they arrived at a strange building. While they were going in, Fogg realized that it was a courtroom. Inside, they saw a judge and a crowd of people. A door opened and the 3 priests entered. The judge explained why they were there, and he held up a pair of shoes. "My shoes," Passepartout shouted in surprise. Clearly, he was guilty. The judge spoke. "The religions of India are protected by law. Because of what this man did, he must go to prison for 15 days. 15 days, shouted Passepartout. "Silence," answered the judge. "And Mr. Fogg will go to prison for 7 days because he is this man's master." Fix was happy. Now there was enough time for the papers to arrive. Fogg stood up and calmly said, "How much is the bail?" "I will pay it now. £1,000 for each man," the judge decided. "You will get it back when you leave prison." Fogg paid the money, Passepartout took his shoes, and they left the court with Aruda. They went straight to the port and prepared to join the Rangoon. This was a ship that was soon leaving Calcutta for Hong Kong. Fix followed them and saw that Fogg was planning to leave and to lose the bail money. He was not pleased. He now decided to join the Rangoon secretly. He also asked the police to send the arrest papers to Hong Kong when they received them. He now hoped to catch Fogg there, as it was another British colony. During the journey, the weather was good, and as they passed various beautiful islands, the passengers relaxed. But not Fix. He wanted to ask Passepartout about the young woman who was traveling with him and his master, so he found the Frenchman and asked. Passepartout was very surprised to see Fix again, but he explained the journey from Bombay and Aruda's story. However, Passepartout now finally started wondering if Fix was following them. "Is he watching my master for the Reform Club people?" he thought. He decided not to tell Fogg about this. On Wednesday afternoon, the 30th of October, the Rangoon sailed through the narrow Strait of Malacca. At 4 a.m. next morning, it arrived at Singapore Island, half a day early, and stopped for a few hours. Passepartout went shopping for some fruit while Fogg and Aruda took a 2-hour trip through the beautiful country in a horse and carriage. Fix followed close behind, hidden in the trees. He was watching EV. 2. Are the statement true or false? 1. The court found Passepartout innocent. 2. Fix was happy when the judge judged Fogg 7 days. 3. Passepartout didn't notice Fix again on the ship. 4. Passepartout finally realized that Fix was following them. 5. Passepartout decided to tell Fogg that he saw Fix on the ship. Was Fix able to arrest Fogg in Calcutta? No, he wasn't, because he didn't have the correct papers. What was the judge's punishment for Passepartout? 15 days in prison. What was the name of the boat that Fogg and Passepartout went on? The Rangoon. When did the boat sail through the Straits of Malacca? On Wednesday afternoon, the 30th of October. Where did the boat go to after the Straits of Malacca? Singapore. 1. Read and answer the questions. 1. What did Fix want the priests to tell the police? He wanted them to tell the police about what Passepartout did in the temple in Bombay. 2. Why was Passepartout very surprised in the courtroom? Because the judge had his shoes. 3. How did Fogg manage to keep Passepartout and himself out of prison? He paid £2,000 bail. 4. Where did Fogg and the others go after they had left the courtroom? They went to the port. 5. Why did Fix decide to go to Hong Kong? Because Hong Kong was a British colony and he could arrest Fogg. 6. What did Fogg and Aruda do in Singapore, and what did Fix do? Fogg and Aruda went on a trip in the country and Fix followed them. 2. Make corrections. There are always 2 or more mistakes. 1. A fire officer stopped Fogg and the others when they got on the train to Calcutta. A police officer stopped Fogg and the others when they got off the train in Calcutta. 2. While they were waiting outside, Aruda realized that the strange building was a tennis court. While they were going in, Fogg realized that the strange building was a courtroom. 3. Inside, there were some judges, and there were also 1 or 2 other people. Inside, there was a judge and a crowd of people. For Fogg sat down and angrily said, "How many days must we stay?" Fogg stood up and calmly said, "How much is the bail? I will pay it now." 5. The Rangoon was soon arriving in Calcutta from Hong Kong. The Rangoon was soon leaving Calcutta for Hong Kong. 6. On the ship, Fix wanted to ask Fogg about the young elephant that was traveling with him and his servant. On the ship, Fix wanted to ask Passepartout about the young woman that was traveling with him and his master. 7. The Rangoon arrived at Singapore Island a day late on Wednesday, the 30th of October. The Rangoon arrived at Singapore Island half a day early on Thursday, the 31st of October.